Hello and welcome to Inside the Playbook presented by Hoosier Network. My name is Gabe Jenkins and I'm joined by my co-hosts Campbell Manahan and Noah Seuss, as well as our producer Lane. Fellas, how's it going?
It's going great. We go to the great school of Indiana University, and they just took home the football national title. It was a lot of fun. Got extra school off because Martin Luther King Day, and then we all had to take a day off after that to celebrate. And that was just a lot of fun. It's been a short week. It's already Thursday. Feeling great.
If you saw online, people in Bloomington were burning couches. There was a whole mob scene on Kirkwood Avenue.
They were on the roofs.
People were on the roofs.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Climbing poles.
Climbing trees.
Shaking trees.
Shaking trees, breaking trees.
Breaking the trees and putting them on the burning couch?
Exactly. Jumping over the burning couch.
I haven't been to Kirkwood again, but didn't you say that someone said there's a black spot still?
There's a big black
I
hole.
would assume so.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There also was a lot of vomit for a while.
Oh, God.
But, that comes with celebrating.
There was broken glass night of. I'm sure that got taken care of quick, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane celebration, and it deserving so. What an insane time to be alive and be a Hoosier. Who could have thought about this 4 years ago?
No, like 4+ years ago, we're playing teams like Akron, going to 4 overtimes. It's rough.
Yeah. Okay.
It's so bad, like, looking back at it to where we are now. Like, especially for my dad, because, like, probably didn't have 16 wins this whole time when he was here, because my dad won here, too. So.
Big shout out to Kip Emmenheiser.
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out. True IU fan. He got to witness the Connor Bazelak days, which is just legendary. Oh, my God.
Yeah, my one of my friends knows of a 98-year-old IU grad who was at the championship game, which also, God bless for the fact that they are 98 years old and healthy enough to go to that game. And, it must have been maybe the best day of their life at 98 years old, and that's insane to think about.
It is great, and you know what? Let's just get right into the IU Miami film, and let's break this down. But before we go into it, Campbell did win our bracket challenge, so eventually he will have his minute to rant. Good job, Camp. It came down to me and Camp, and if IU lost, it was going to be me. If IU won, it was going to be Camp.
I will point out, I do believe I only won against Noah, though, because I had the tiebreaker of total points scored in the entire tournament.
Okay.
But I beat him, and I guess I'm better at predicting the amount scored in the tournament.
I guess so.
What about that one guy online who did it perfectly?
Oh, that guy was, yeah.
I can't believe that.
That guy had a run.
It's pretty easy for 12.
He said he's from the future. I believe him.
Yeah.
Right, of course. All right, so let's get into this. So, Indiana's first drive here, they get backed up. It's 1st and 20. First down, you're okay with being 20 yards out, but it's going to be a little RPO here. Omar Cooper's going to be on a slant. You're going to have the run option, but they're going to take the pass. And it is a huge pass to Omar Cooper for the first play of the game. 20-plus yards, gets that first down, starts to drive off right.
Yeah, Omar Cooper was massive in this game for the Hoosiers. I feel like he had a big play in every single quarter of this game, especially once he was able to actually get the ball. If they ever got it to him, I felt like he was getting an extra 10 yards every single time on the run.
Like I said last week, Omar Cooper was going to be a major part of IU's offense this game. It was going to be Omar Cooper going up against probably Miami's cornerback one most of the time. And he did a great job getting into open space and getting first downs like he did here.
And so, this next play is not a big gainer, but it is a big play for the rest of this game. You're going to have a little read option here for Mendoza to either keep this ball or hand it off. And Mendoza ends up deciding to keep the ball. But watch what happens up here. He gets popped. And as you can see in the other angles of this broadcast, he gets absolutely it's targeted. Definition of the flag. It's targeting. He gets up. He's got a bloody lip. It's a bad play, but no flag. So the game goes on. Mendoza's a little bloody, but he moves on.
Yeah, the heart of a warrior for Mendoza to just take that, have the blood, and just keep on fighting throughout the game. I think later in the game also he'll have his moment where it's the true heart of the warrior. Mm-hmm. But just Jacoby Thomas got away with one there. Probably should have been ejected from the game. I think that's pretty much just a textbook targeting hit right there.
Yeah, there's one thing letting them play, but missing those hits is just, you can't do that.
And also, it's not that I'm not mad about the tackle that happened because it is a read option.
Yeah.
You're supposed to tackle him.
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
that's the thing. People at the watch party were going crazy about that. I'm like, he's he's blocking, so
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But the problem is that even if he had the ball, that is an illegal hit.
Yeah,
you can't
for sure.
do that if
I mean, I'm tackling the quarterback 10 times out of 10 because you get a free hit on the quarterback, you're taking that, but you can't do that hit on the quarterback.
That's 110% targeting.
Yeah.
It was a headshot, and his mouth was bleeding. There was blood dripping everywhere, and that's just a dog. Straight up, Mendoza continuing on this drive. It's just what Heisman does.
Yeah. And so IU gets 3 on that drive. Now, Miami's got the ball. This is going to be a great play for the IU defense. There's going to be a streak up at the top and a corner by the tight end. And Beck's going to fit the ball almost in there. Hardy gets a hand on it, and Lewis Moore officially puts the ball out of play with the hit on the tight end.
Yeah, I mean, just an athletic play from Hardy to get as high as he could possibly get and just get literally, I think, as much hand as he could possibly get on that ball, just the fingertips. Messes up the pass a little bit. Now, if Lewis Moore didn't come in and finish that play, I think Miami probably would have gotten a lucky completion there where it just bobbles still right to the tight end where it's supposed to go. Lewis Moore finishes the play, knocks it out. Great play by the IU defense.
Hardy was just trying to do his best Michael Jordan logo there, jumping up, knocking that ball. And a great play by Lewis Moore. It was all Lewis Moore breaking up because it would have been a first down for Miami if who was the Miami receiver that was going to go for it? I don't even know. But Lewis Moore, great knockout.
Yeah, so this next play is another great defensive play for IU. There's just going to be a little 6-yard out route at the top here, and you're going to see zone on the other side. So Beck thinks that he's going to have a soft zone on Pons to get the ball in there, but it just doesn't fit. Pons gets the knockout. Pons had a terrific game.
Yeah, I mean, did Miami not watch the film of last game and realize that you don't throw it at Pons? Like, I feel like it's typically, I mean, maybe if he's wide open, but Pons is really good at jumping those routes, especially a curl route or a little tiny in route or anything like that. He's really good at jumping that.
Yeah, Pons has been such a key part of this IU defense all year long. And today he announced he was declaring for this year's draft. Not officially, but he announced it at Raising Cane's at the fan meetup today.
And so, yeah, this next play is 3rd down, and IU tends to do a lot of what's called simulated pressure, where they just put a bunch of guys up and you have to guess who's coming, who's not. But this play, 6 people end up coming in. There's a one-on-one between Fisher and Fletcher. Fletcher, the running back for Miami, and Fisher just makes a move past him, wraps up Carson Beck. Easy tackle for the sack.
Yeah, and I mean, right here, it was a really smart, well-timed up blitz from IU because most of this game, their strategy was 4-man rush at most, but a lot of times it was even 3-man rush where they would drop a defensive end back, especially to watch out for a weapon like Malachi Toney. But right here, they show pressure and they bring every single player instead of like simulating anything. They just send it all. And just Miami not ready for it.
Yeah, there was really nothing Fletcher could have done there. Fisher was just way too big, shrugs him off, and wraps up Carson Beck to the ground.
No, they needed to diagnose that pre-snap and have a quick route.
Pass, yeah.
And so this next play, Indiana has the ball back. They're at their 27. They're going to try what they do in most games on the season, is going to be just a little sweep with a lot of pull options from the offensive line. However, the block does not get set on Ruben Bain very well, and 3 guys really came through and just blew that play up. Huge loss of downs.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the last time IU in this game attempts to do any bit of pull blocking, especially when you leave a guy like Nowakowski having to block a guy like Ruben Bain. That's just not a matchup that's going to work well for Nowakowski. He's a great blocker, but he can't block Ruben Bain that well because neither can an offensive tackle like Carter Smith, who's arguably the best offensive lineman in the game. He can't even block Ruben Bain that well. So just this is the last time you will see IU in this game try to attempt that.
Whichever NFL team that gets Ruben Bain is insanely lucky. He is just a great athlete, and he's just amazing at what he does for this defense for Miami.
So this next play here is going to be another hit behind the line for Miami. Their defensive line just pushes through. And I think that's Pat Coogan there. Yep, Pat Coogan gets beat at center. Hemby ends up getting just grabbed with one arm and then pulled down. Is muscle right there.
Yeah, I mean, an incredible act of strength from Ahmed Modin Sr., I believe I got that name right, just shredding through a guy like Coogan, who's just been an awesome center, Rose Bowl MVP earlier in this year, just been an awesome offensive lineman all year for IU, but right here just gets immediately shred, just Modin's too strong for him, and then a great act of strength also on that tackle. He just grabs him, throws him down.
Miami's D-line went to work the entire game, and it felt like there was nothing this IU offensive line could do about it. They just motored right through him all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was shown as IU in most of this game elected not to try to bomb anything 50 yards over the top because they knew they didn't have the time to even get a throw that far.
Yeah, and this next play, there's a little bit of a flip here. Instead of trying to beat Miami's defensive line, they're going to try to trick Miami's defensive line. There's a lot of the edge rushers just waiting for the pass to go out, but it ends up Kalen Black takes the ball, runs up the middle, and easy first down. 3rd and 8 there.
And I mean, a good hole there, but Kalen Black with just an elite vision to find that it was not a very big gap he had there, but gets up the gut. And just really good job of IU diagnosing that you got a 3rd down long here, and Miami likes to use those edge rushers coming right off, get after the passer on 3rd and long. I mean, I think Herbstreit was saying it all game. Miami's defensive strategy is to get you to 3rd and long and then pass rush you on 3rd and long so you don't even have time to get a throw off. IU elects not to throw here.
Yes, it was great job by Signetti to see that because they were always back in that 3rd down coverage, ready for a pass, to get Black a good carry for a big first down.
Yeah, and so this sets up, after a few more plays, a 3rd and goal. There's going to be a fullback dive here, but the trick on this play is that Kalen Black actually slides out to the right to make it appear like it's going to be a pitch, and that draws this defender over so he can't come in to get Nowakowski, and easy touchdown for Nowakowski on the rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really hard to tackle Nowakowski and not allow him to get just 1 yard. That's all he needs. I think he gets basically 3 there on that play, but just a really good key tool that IU has is they can just, with 1 yard, do a little trickery to the outside, just have Nowakowski up the gut.
Do you know what I actually despise? That they didn't show the play on the replay that set this up. The Charlie Becker pass. The Charlie Becker pass set up 1st and goal. Even though he was out of bounds and didn't get in the end zone, they should have shown it on the replay. Huge play. Nowakowski adds in 7-0. No, not 7-0. 10-0 Indiana.
Yeah, and so the momentum is very much in Indiana's favor, and Miami gets down to 4th down on this next drive. They're about to go 3 and out, but coach decides, no, we need to get some momentum on our side. So Miami says, we're going for it. We're going to rush. They give it to Fletcher, and he powers through, gets just enough. Now, on the replay, he gets a little bit closer than what it seems from the broadcast angle, but it was a very close rush.
Yeah, I mean, he just barely gets the amount he needs there, and just power run. This is Miami's 2nd first down of the game. So Cristobal, I feel there just was like, we need to get any bit of momentum. Got to get a first down. We're down 10-0. And this got them some momentum right there.
Yes, it was momentum shifting. They did bring out 8 offensive linemen for this 4th down, and it was huge that they got it by a slim margin that they did.
Yeah. So this next play here is going to be a big play for Carson Beck here. Is you're going to have C.J. Daniels on a crosser. Beck's going to have time to throw here.
Replay did look like the ball had gotten that mark by the time he hit the ground. First down, throw, and wide open is C.J. Daniels.
Nice play, first down, Miami.
It's a great route concept to just get past zones because you're passing over people and people are watching. The defenders are watching the quarterback because they're in zone, so they don't always see what's coming across, and that's heavily reliant on communication, and it leads to great things for Miami.
Yeah, when IU could be focusing on Malachi Tony, you see a player like C.J. Daniels stepping up for this Miami Hurricanes team.
Yeah, and so now this is going to set up Miami in field goal range. 38 seconds left, 4th and 2. They're going to go for the kick. And unfortunately, for I believe now the 2nd time in this playoff, Miami doinks the kick off the upright.
Yeah, doinked kicks in playoffs, it just seems to keep happening. Not just for him, but for kickers in all around in NFL, in college. It's just unfortunate, but it helps IU, hurts Miami. How it goes.
The kick looked good off the foot. It looked really good. It looked like it was going straight. Then it drifted a little right, boink off the upright. Sorry, Bears fans, not a double doink, but still a doink for the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, and so now a bad half of football for Miami there, but now they got a 3rd and 9. IU has the ball to start this half. Miami needs to get a stop, and you're going to see this guy we've talked a little bit about already today, Ruben Bain, flying off the edge here as he's going to get after Mendoza, gets around Carter Smith, and just chases down Mendoza. Mendoza tries to escape. He's too slow to escape from Ruben Bain.
It looked like there was nothing Carter Smith could do on this play. He looked absolutely helpless. Ruben Bain got through, and Mendoza didn't have a lot of time, rolling right, and then Bain blows him up in the pocket.
It feels like if there was never a short pass in the play call, that Ruben Bain makes a play, whether it's a pressure to a throwaway or a sack or pressuring for someone else to get a sack. Ruben Bain's just all over the field this game.
Yeah, I mean, Carter Smith is going to be an NFL guy at some point in his career, and even he can't one-on-one Ruben Bain. It's just a matchup that nobody can take. And right here, Miami's going to get the ball back, first drive of the half for them, and they're going to immediately respond to IU as Fletcher's going to see this hole that gets created, and he's going to get it, take it, run, get around, split some defenders, and it's a foot race. He beats Lewis Moore there. That's a touchdown for Fletcher on the second play of the drive for Miami.
Yeah, if Lewis Moore had a better angle there or maybe predicted how fast Fletcher was going to be, he might have had a better shot at that. But as soon as Fletcher and him are at the same spot, it was over. Fletcher was faster, and it blew past him in the foot race.
Yeah, Fletcher has so much speed, and when you give him a big hole like Miami's O-line did, it's barbecue chicken from there. Easy touchdown for Miami.
Yeah, okay. So now IU gets the ball back right here, and you're going to have a curl flat combo here as you're going to have Omar Cooper or not a curl flat, sorry. A curl
Fade.
What?
Curl fade.
Yeah, curl fade combo as Omar Cooper's going to be here and take the fade. Surratt right here on the curl, 3rd and 3, big to get a little bit of momentum for the IU offense this half. But unfortunately for IU, Surratt just does something very uncharacteristic, drops the ball, maybe would have been able to recover the ball if it was not for the defender to be able to knock it out. Good play by the Miami defender to get that ball out, but really just an uncharacteristic drop from Surratt.
You go?
You go.
9 times out of 10, Elijah Surratt catches that ball, and that's a first down for Indiana. But this was the one time he dropped the ball. And it was a big play. What was it, 3rd and 2?
Yeah, 3rd and 3.
3rd and 3. And it led to the end of the Indiana drive.
Yeah. So now the real ending of this Indiana drive is going to be a great punt here for Mitch McCarthy as he's going to punt this inside the 5. And Malachi Toney, elite returner, is going to elect to get it, but he's going to get stuffed inside of the 7 by Devin Boykin with a great tackle and just an awesome play by the IU special teams.
Who's got the quote? Special teams, special players, make special plays. They've got it, man. They did a great job pinning them deep. It's everything you could ask for to set up your defense for a long drive.
Yeah, and we are not done seeing IU special teams make some plays. As you're going to have Kamara here on the edge. You're going to also have Isaiah Jones on the edge. And this blocker is the main guy right there for Miami who's responsible to block Kamara. He is not going to be successful in that. Kamara gets around, gets the block. Isaiah Jones there to recover. Touchdown IU. Huge play from the IU special teams.
What a momentum shifter. You just punted the ball back, even though you did a great punt. And now they're punting to you, and Kamara just gets through. And they were rushing both on the edge. You had Kamara coming on one side, Jones coming on the other. Kamara makes contact. Easy touchdown for Isaiah Jones, who just lands on the ball. And it's, 17-7 here? Indiana.
It's very important for Indiana to get that because their offense, albeit with 10 points, wasn't moving incredible this game. And the special teams creating those points creates that gap. It's great for the team.
Yeah, and so now on this play, Beck in the Miami Hurricane offense is going to have the ball back, and they're going to use a little bit of a tight end wheel route from C.J. Daniels here, Alex Bauman here, and you're going to have D'Angelo Pons make another awesome defensive play in this. As Beck throws a little bit of a concussion ball, he's not open. D'Angelo immediately rocks right at the ball. Perfect hit to break that pass up.
Yeah, that could have been very bad for Miami if Pons got there a little early. That could have been a pick.
Or higher.
Or higher, yes. So, bad ball by Carson Beck. Bad decision-making. Probably one of his worst throws of the day.
Yeah. Pons is just such a great corner. He's able to make up so much ground. And for being undersized, he doesn't play like it. And that's just something Carson Beck didn't factor in on this pass.
Yeah. And so now Beck's going to, it's not all bad for Carson Beck here, as Beck's going to have a good play. He gets some time. He's going to navigate this pocket well enough. And this is just a lot of time for Beck to throw. He's going to scramble around. He's eventually going to look downfield, hit C.J. Daniels downfield for a major, 20-plus yard completion from Beck there. And just really good pocket awareness, really good just a pocket that created by that Miami Hurricane offensive line there also. Eventually, the coverage fails after 8 seconds. You can't even fully blame the coverage there because they held up for a while. Eventually, some pressure has to get through for IU.
Yeah, what a great game by Miami's O-line. They really kept him in the game and gave Carson Beck the right amount of time to find his open receivers in this tough IU zone. And
it kind of shows that Indiana is the blue-collar team here, because if they weren't blitzing, they didn't get a lot of pressure for the rest of the game. If they blitzed, they were able to get a little bit of pressure, but with no blitz, IU's defensive line just could not compete with Miami's O-line.
Yeah, and so now right here, you're going to see Malachi Toney get involved in this game, which we're going to see a lot more later on also in this game, as they're going to use a little bit of a motion here, something they do all the time with Toney, and they're going to just get a little screen pass out here. And Toney, once he gets that ball, is electric with it, gets a good block on the outside, and then takes it, uses that speed down to the 12. Great play for Malachi Toney.
And something you see when they motion Malachi Toney is that IU would typically drop a defender to cover him. On that play, it didn't happen. I don't know if they were reading a run on that and they were wanting to crash on it, but they did not go with Malachi Toney, and that resulted in the huge play there.
Yeah, they were staying down on the run there, because if you look at the edge rusher that typically has been all game on that motion following Toney, he stays back. He doesn't rush after the passer. He stays back to look for an outside run.
So let's jump right into what that led to. The fourth quarter. 15 minutes to go. First play of the fourth quarter. We see Beck fake the throw to Toney, hand off to Fletcher. Fletcher walks right in for the touchdown. It's a 7-point game, and Miami's right back in it.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a brilliant play call from Miami, using that Toney motion, knowing that the IU defense just failed to watch out for Malachi Toney and is going to watch for Malachi Toney on this play. They motion him out as a decoy. Fletcher's just easily able to walk in with a massive hole.
It feels like the motion got every single IU defender on the field to go after him on that play. And that's great play call. I don't even know necessarily perfect time. I think that might have worked every single time they would have called that play. It's just such a great design against this IU team.
So Indiana gets the ball back. 4th and 5. This is a huge play. Look at Charlie Becker here. Charlie Becker and Indiana love these back shoulder passes. And we see one on 4th down. What a crazy catch by Charlie Becker for a huge first down. And Indiana gets an extra life on this drive.
A terrific timeout, number 1 by Kurt Signetti, trying to get the guys oriented, and it's a great play.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of those rare times where Mendoza doesn't throw that ball right where it's supposed to be. Typically, these back shoulders are almost automatic because Mendoza's on the right on the money and the receiver's right on the right page. This time, the receiver's on the right page, and the receiver makes a great play to get the slightly off ball and just I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Becker there caught it with his hands like on the top of the ball, not even underneath it. It just awesome hands from Becker.
So now we see Indiana 4th and 5 again. Kurt Signetti calls another timeout, and we see Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman winner, QB sneak, jukes a guy, reaches for the end zone, and he gets it. Indiana fans going nuts. Fernando Mendoza's Heisman moment.
This is the point where you think IU's won the game, because how can you not win the game after that crazy play? But then you also have to realize Miami has been killing it this fourth quarter, and you have to keep up the defensive pressure.
Yeah, I mean, you got Mendoza here, just an awesome, hard the warrior play from him there. Will not be denied, gets himself in the end zone. Also a gutsy play call. Also, let's shout out great timeout number 2 from Kurt Signetti. And we'll see number 3 later, but number 2 right there from Kurt Signetti.
So Miami's not done yet. It's 3rd and 15, so you say, if Indiana gets a stop here, this game could be over. But Carson Beck says no way. He finds Alex Bauman for a big 15-yard completion, and Miami keeps their drive going.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Miami. Miami's offense this entire second half just keeps punching at that IU lead, and they just keep chipping away. IU then puts it back to 10, chip away again. Great play here from Alex Bauman.
So the next play, 1st and 10 for Miami after that big 15-yard completion. Carson Beck finds Malachi Toney. Toney uses his great speed for a 41-yard gain and to get Miami in the red zone. What do we think of Malachi Toney really putting Miami on his back here?
I feel like Indiana was trying to cover everyone on this drive instead of double teaming someone, which isn't necessarily a wrong decision because anyone could kill you on this drive. So they were just trying to cover everyone, and then suddenly there's just a little crosser from Malachi Toney, and he's just too fast.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot give Toney any chance. You have to have maybe 3 pairs of eyeballs on Toney. It's just, he's so fast. He's so electric. This kid's only 18. What is he going to be doing 3rd year in college?
So Malachi Toney isn't done yet on this drive. Carson Beck flips it to Malachi Toney on the jet sweep. He uses his speed again for another touchdown. Questionable hold up top, down below, but Miami gets in regardless.
Yeah, I mean, was it a hold? Maybe. Doesn't matter. Toney using his speed again. It just Miami clearly realizing we need to call all our plays just to get Toney open. Anything to get Toney the ball, just let him take it.
You don't have to worry about putting plays on tape for the rest of the year. So it's like you don't have to hold them on for the next game. You can put everything that you've designed to win games in this game.
And you also don't have to worry about Toney's legs hurting tomorrow because there is no tomorrow.
24-21, 3 minutes left. Another big 3rd down coming here for IU. Again, watch Charlie B. He loves the shoulder, the comeback on the shoulder, like I said before, and he gets another big catch. He loves the jump ball, and it's another big 1st down for IU.
Yeah, I mean, just this time, let's give credit. Mendoza this time does put the ball right in the right spot. Becker right on time with it. Back shoulder to Becker is just a key that's been unlocked. And I don't know. I think we have to say this. I do not think that IU will win this national title game if Becker did not emerge as the receiving threat he did about halfway through the season.
Guys, I'm going to say something controversial. Would Mendoza want to stay another year just to play with his good old buddy Charlie Becker for another year? I don't think Charlie Becker had enough targets for Mendoza this year. I think Mendoza wants to come back and play more for Charlie Becker.
I'm going to say if IU lost this game, there would have been a better chance, not a big chance, but a little bit of a chance that he may return.
And have Josh Hoover as his backup.
Exactly.
Yeah,
kind of like a Moore situation with Raiola.
I do not think Hoover, with used his last year of college eligibility to come back up anybody. I think he was guaranteed. I think It's been a well-known, not so kept secret that Mendoza's going.
The Raiders,
to the draft.
the Raider owners were at the Natty on the sidelines.
the
Raiders owner
and Brady.
minority owner,
Yeah.
GM were all there.
They want Mendoza.
So that Becker catch led to IU in field goal range. It was, if you guys remember, it was 2nd and 1, and Carter Smith took maybe the worst false start in IU history, which led to it being 3rd and 6, and for IU, they took a field goal to make it 27-21. So Miami gets the ball back. It's 2nd and 15. Great stop by IU the first time. They got, I think, was it a false start penalty or delay a game?
Yeah.
And then Carson Beck throws it. He misses his receiver, but Mario Landino laid a cheap shot on Carson Beck, which had him lying on the ground. See another replay here. He blew him up, didn't even try to not rough the passer. He roughed him. And this led to Miami getting a pretty big first down, which it would have been 3rd and 15.
Yeah.
It's a huge play. It could have led to the end of the game very early, or it could have, they pull up another play. That's crazy. But you can't live in the world of what ifs. This happened, and it's got to be talked about.
Yeah, I mean, was it a roughing the passer? Yes, by the book, it totally is. It's the reason I think a lot of IU fans, especially in the moment, were more mad about it was because of the way they've been officiating most of the game was a let them play mindset. And then right here, they decided to step in. The refs decided to step in a little bit. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter.
And it also wasn't like the craziest hit. It was to the chest. He didn't land on him. It wasn't head or neck, and it wasn't at his knees. Yeah. It wasn't the worst hit. It just was late.
It wasn't the worst hit in the game. The Mendoza hit was arguably worse than that. So Miami gets a first down on that.
Here's the snapback. Beck looks, throws it down the field, and it is intercepted by Indiana. Wow, what a play! And it is Jamari Sharp who comes up with a pick, and he runs into the end zone. They're going to call a penalty. But Indiana... They can call that all they want.
Championship for the Indiana Hoosiers. Wow. Wow is an understatement. They finish off the perfect season. Just an amazing year for this Indiana team.
Yeah, I mean, Carson Beck doing his best 44-year-old Phillip Rivers impression with this throw right here. It just completely lofts it short. A perfect ball probably wouldn't have been caught, but also would not have been intercepted. And it was the wrong read to throw. Yeah, that's not where he should have been throwing the ball, but a good ball over the top would not have been a game-losing interception for Beck. But instead, he noodle arms it, and just a terrible throw from Beck right there.
And Jamari Sharp had a terrific game this game. Jamari Sharp had the coverage that would have led to that 3rd and, I think, 15 if Landino did not have the roughing the passer. He had a great game. He had multiple coverages. Obviously, didn't get player of the game, but he did have great plays.
Yeah, and just a perfect ending to the movie that is the 2025-26 IU Hoosier football team. I think it's probably already secretly in the works in Hollywood on this movie, and I think it's fully granted. And I would hope that it's some IU Hoosiers alums working on the movie as well. But just an overall insane story. Kurt Signetti doing this in 2 years feels just impossible, but he made it possible. And just, I mean, it might be arguably the greatest sports story of all time. There's a really good argument for that.
Hoosiers Part 2. They made the first one. It was a basketball movie. If you haven't seen Hoosiers, what are you doing? But this is a great time to make a football movie. Hoosiers PT2.
Yeah, and I've seen this play. I saw on Twitter with the music from Hoosiers, Jamari Sharp intercepting it is perfect. So.
I think a thing of mine has been on almost any big sports play in my life. Watching it with the Hoosiers music is just perfect, and I think almost any Hoosier can agree with that.
So yeah, this game, incredible watch, and the result of this game means Campbell has won our bracket challenge. Campbell, you have 1 minute to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. And we will start
Do we
that
get
minute.
to talk with him, or is this
No,
just
it's
a minute
just
tangent?
Campbell.
Campbell
I
for a
get a
minute.
minute,
It's a
then
Campbell
you guys
minute.
get to
Then we're
react
gonna discuss
afterwards.
Okay.
All right, Campbell. 3, 2, 1.
Something that just completely pisses me off is the NCAA letting all these professional basketball players back into college basketball. I think it's complete bull. This morning, I just saw Oscar Tshiebwe is trying to sue the NCAA to get back in. He played games for the Pacers. I watched him play games for the Pacers. He won G League MVP. There is no way this man deserves to be playing for Kentucky of all teams again. He played 4 years in college also. He had a full career. What are you doing trying to get back into college basketball? You're making a paycheck in the G League right now. James Najee, you are playing for Baylor right now. You played in the Summer League against Wembanyama. What are you doing back in college basketball? Why are you there? Charles Bediako, you also are now allowed to play at Bama again. You hadn't played basketball at Bama since 2023. Why are we just allowing all these players to just randomly rejoin college basketball? I do not understand it, and Oscar Tshiebwe is the final straw here. He has played in the NBA. That is unbelievable.
And that is it. Campbell had a terrific minute, timed down to perfection. Holy cow, Campbell. I have no disagreements. I wasn't sure where you were going to go with your rant.
When you started by saying I'm pissed, there was a million.
I thought you were going to direct it at somebody here. I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yeah, there was a million ways you could have gone with your rant. That is a terrific way to go. Yeah. NCAA allowing players to come back from professional
I'm hearing
sports.
LeBron might be going back to Ohio State.
I mean,
that might
I
be
think
happening.
Get Victor Oladipo back in Indiana, please.
LeBron has 4 years of eligibility. He legally could. Oscar Tshiebwe has played in the NBA. Before this, the rule basically was like James Najee at least didn't actually play a game in the NBA. He played professional. He played some G League. He did Summer League. But he never actually played in the NBA. Oscar Tshiebwe played 7 games for the Pacers. This is unbelievable to me.
Yeah. Well, when the Pacers lose their entire roster for a year, somebody's gonna play.
Oh no, he played in 2023.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, we were good then. I mean, it's unbelievable to me.
Oh.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He won G League MVP, I believe, on the Mad Ants, and it was like he averages like 15 points and 15 rebounds. If that's allowed back in college basketball, that's terrible for the college basketball players.
So why doesn't IU just say, let's get Victor Oladipo and Cody Zeller back and let's go on a little run here?
I mean, if this lawsuit wins, they legally could. The NCAA needs to, the NCAA needs to win this lawsuit desperately, and then also needs. I've been calling for this. They need a commissioner. With the fact that everyone can be paid now in college sports, there needs to be a commissioner of college football, commissioner of college basketball, commissioner of college softball, baseball, every sport. There just needs to be a commissioner of it that controls the rules, and one of those rules need to be that once you leave college and go play some pro ball, not allowed back in. If you played pro ball before going to college, like if you played overseas as like a 16-year-old kid in Europe,
So
I think
therefore
that's
LeBron.
okay. LeBron was not a 16-year-old kid in Europe. I think there's a little difference. LeBron made his choice to not play college basketball.
Yeah, but like I feel like every year there's just more and more problems with the NCAA. And I mean, like transfer portal, like obviously that's kind of a newer thing with NIL, but it's just gonna get worse and worse if they don't figure something out to like regulate everything for the NCAA.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that you need a governing body, and the NCAA is the federally appointed governing body for college sports, and it is just it's just not effective as of now, and it's hard to try to change something as implemented as the NCAA is.
Yeah, I mean, the NCAA headquarters is in Indianapolis. I don't know if I need to start going down there and protesting or something. This is unbelievable. It's my favorite sport, and they're just. If Oscar Tshiebwe is allowed back into college football or
Then it's
college
abolished.
basketball, that's just insane.
Yeah, it's
Abolish it all.
gonna just if that happens, I don't even know like what stuff is gonna happen with that. It's gonna cause chaos. For
I
sure.
would love to see LeBron play college basketball and dominate on 18-year-old kids. He would drop 50 every night.
I wouldn't. I like the way the sport is.
Oh,
Thus my rant.
Yeah, it is a very good rant, a very good topic to pick for your rant.
Yeah, that was a good rant.
Also, coming up is the NFL playoffs. There is a lot of games that have happened these past couple weeks that we haven't necessarily talked about. Bills-Broncos was a terrific game that came down to the wire. However, something occurred after or right at the end of the Broncos game. Bo Nix is out for the rest of the playoffs. Might miss some time at the start of the season next year. Jared Stidham. Yeah.
Come on out.
Jared Stidham.
No, I mean, can he channel his inner Nick Foles? I think we're gonna find out.
He hasn't played a game in like over 700 days.
I'm gonna make my prediction that he doesn't.
Yeah, me too. I will.
I think the Patriots defense is gonna shut them down. You saw what they made C.J. Stroud look like. He looked like maybe the worst quarterback to ever play football. And so why would Jared Stidham look good?
Yeah.
So the key thing is here, I think both of these teams are absolutely frauds.
Patriots and Broncos.
Patriots and Broncos. And I
second
think
that.
whoever comes out of the NFC is going to abolish this team in the Super Bowl.
This team right here.
The
That's
Rams
a little biased,
Back to
right?
Noah.
The Rams did beat the Bears in the Bears Stadium.
Harrison
And
Mevis, baby.
the Bears-
right down the middle.
that game was also an incredible
was
watch.
a good
Not
game.
quite the score fest that Bills Broncos was, but it was a very tightly contested game. Went to overtime. The incredible touchdown pass from Caleb Williams. There's
Pissed me off, but it was really good.
Insane. I mean, Caleb Williams keeps doing this all the time. And then, I don't think that pick was his fault at the end there. I think
No, it was not. It was
that's the
what's his face?
receiver's
DJ
fault.
Moore's
DJ
fault.
Moore's
He was
fault, yeah.
jogging that route. so.
Yeah, I mean that you can't blame Caleb Williams for that interception
Yeah.
either. I think he has time and time again been mediocre in the beginning into middle of the game, and then just the best quarterback ever at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And that's the Bears' MO, but it ended up failing for them. I think Rams Seahawks a third run of this game. It's been absolute cinema the first two times. I mean, how great is that for NFL fans?
And speaking of Rams Seahawks, Seahawks 49ers.
Nail biter.
Holy cow.
Nail biter.
41-6.
When you
Yeah.
start the
Oh
game with
my
Raheem Shaheed
goodness.
return, and it's
You just
7-0
know it's over.
right out of
That's
the
all
gate,
they needed.
You're gone.
7-6 would have been the final score if that's all they had.
Yeah.
They still would have won. Just the domination. The one bad thing for Seahawks, which I think is going to really quietly, sneakily matter in the Rams game, is Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL, I believe is what
Yeah.
it was. He's he's done with that. And is Kenneth Walker great? Yes, but do they use Charbonnet in every time they need 2 or 1 yard?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty crucial, I think.
I do think that there will be some game plan changes, but I still think the Seahawks are going to be able to score. I think this Seahawks-Rams game could be very, very good. I think the past two have been pretty good, so we're in for another show.
I think the winner of this, like I said, destroys the AFC team, whoever's coming out of there. If Jared Stidham finds a way, Jared Stidham finds a way. And I'm going to be honest, I got to feel bad for the Bears fans, I'm going to say. The Bears...
Why? They should have kicked those field goals. They would have won.
I just feel bad for them because they've been nothing but bad. Then they had a double doink, and then they have this. And
Well,
they
it's
deserved a little bit more.
they're building. They have stuff to
Yeah,
appreciate.
year one coach. I think that's
I wouldn't
good
feel
enough.
bad. I think
I feel
this
bad.
was the Bears fans' best season in so long that they're just still pretty happy about it. Maybe they were depressed after the game, but I think next day they are like, all right, let's move on.
like last season with IU football. Like
Yeah.
great season. We lost in the playoffs. I'm to the national contender, so I was fine with it. I mean, like
yeah, I
more
mean, you,
look ahead.
you move on, you build ahead. It's a young core for the Bears, especially offensively. And you have to assume, if you're a Bears fan, you have to assume you're going to be good for the next 5 to 10 years with Ben Johnson as your head coach.
So right now, I just took a quick look at Super Bowl tickets for just to look around, and they are $5,000. You want to know why? Because it's in Santa Clara, California. If the Rams
I
make
just
it,
want to point something out.
what do you want to point out?
49ers might see an NFC West team win the Super Bowl in their own stadium, and I think that is just beautiful. So that's just awesome. I really need this to happen.
That's not a biased opinion, right? That's a
No, I mean,
just
like-
beautiful for the NFL, right?
Noah, do you like the 49ers?
No,
Do you like the 49ers?
No.
You like the 49ers?
Like Brock Purdy.
I think it's great. True.
I like McCaffrey.
Of course you
He
do.
killed
was
his
on my
whole
fantasy
team
team.
to be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he killed us all.
Brock
fun.
Purdy knows how to Dougie, and that makes me respect him.
I mean, we want to just quickly run predictions of the two games.
Let's do it.
Really small two games. So who you got winning? Let's go Patriots, Broncos first.
I don't have Jared Stidham leading the Broncos to victory. I have the Patriots getting the win on the road at Mile High. Drake May and the boys are going to the Super Bowl.
I will have to agree. It's going to be Drake, May. They are going to.
They didn't even start that.
What?
Why do we?
What?
They didn't even start the Drake May thing. It was the
Okay,
Gi-
so my prediction is also the New England Patriots at Mile High. I don't see them winning Broncos.
Yeah, I think it's a 4.5 line. I think they are going to be able to cover that. The only scare factor here is home Denver playoff numbers are really, really good. They are dominant. The altitude matters. Although I did see the weather appears to be like 30 degrees and sunny. That's like typical December, January, February football weather. I don't think it's going to be anything like terrible that's going to really affect the game. I think Broncos defense has the chance to muck the game up a little bit, but I think Patriots, Drake May is going to be too much. He's just so much better than Stidham. I trust him with the ball at the end over Stidham.
Yeah.
I think the thing to consider for that game is that Jarrett Stidham isn't somebody they signed off the couch. He's been with the team. He understands the playbook at least a little bit. He's got some time to work with the starters. It's not like this happens Saturday night or whatever the night is before. He's got some time to work with the starters to kind of get some reps in. I won't predict that he's going to have 300 yards, but I won't say he'll have under 100. Like he can do something.
Yeah, I think it will be there. Like he can play, but I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't see
he's
it happening.
going to lead the Denver Broncos to the Super Bowl, but he's not a bad NFL quarterback. He's not a bad backup quarterback.
Yeah, I just don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. Now let's move on. The game of the week. It's Seahawks minus 2.5 is the line at Seattle. Rams versus Seahawks.
To me, being at Seattle is very important for this game. They had 12th man. Their stadium is very known to be loud. It's also Kenneth Walker, I think, is going to have a great game. But that Los Angeles defense is really good, too. I'm going to take Seattle.
Okay.
Both of the first two games were decided by 2 points or less. So we're in for an absolute classic here. I'm going to take the Rams in this one. I think their defense is going to be way too much for Sam Darnold. I don't think the Seattle offense is that good, and I feel like they're going to choke in this big-time moment, and the Rams are going to the Super Bowl in their home state.
Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting thing here is in the game the Rams won, they didn't win by much, and Sam Darnold had a terrible game in that one. So if Sam Darnold can have a good game, but then the second time, though, he didn't really have a good game. He had an inconsistent game where there was a stretch where he was terrible and a stretch where he was perfect and amazing. So are we now due for an awesome Sam Darnold performance because he has been bad, mid, now good? I don't think so. I think this is playoff. I think playoff Sam Darnold comes out. I think Rams win this a little bit comfortable, honestly. I think Rams are going to win it by like 10. I think Puka Nacua just has like 250 yards or something insane today.
Give me the Rams.
So you got to remember in that fourth quarter of the last game, the Rams were up 30-14, and it was it was a huge collapse. Sorry about that.
Monumental.
Yes, I couldn't say it. I don't know why. It was a huge collapse. I don't think the Rams do that again. So the Rams, I see comfortably winning like right on the same score, 30-14, probably close to that.
I think the Rams learned a lot from their games that they've lost. Panthers game, Falcons game, I think they learned a lot. I think these guys are going to be tested, but I think they'll win. So,
yeah,
give me Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
That is the other thing is that you want to pick the Rams, but then they've lost to the Panthers and the Rams. So you know they're capable of playing poorly.
A lot of people have been saying they should have lost to the Colts also.
So
But they didn't.
It's just what a lot of people have been saying.
Yeah.
I don't know who those
I don't
people
even know
are.
In
where
Indiana.
I don't know. I don't even know where I heard it from.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
weird.
been hearing things.
So I want to jump into something called the coaches carousel. So we talked about this last week. We saw Jesse Minter, like right before we got into the studio today, go to the Ravens on a 5-year deal. We saw Harbaugh go to the Giants. Coaches are jumping all around. Guys, who do we think is next off the board?
I think if the Rams lose, Chris Shula will be the next off the board. And if the Rams don't lose, we'll wait another week, and then Chris Shula will be off the board.
Yeah, I don't know, but like
I would also want to say I really do think the Bills are going to hire Daboll. It feels extremely likely. They like him because he's been in the program before.
He built Josh Allen.
He built Josh Allen. Josh Allen likes him for that. I think I just think it's extremely likely that they're going to hire Daboll. I also think a lot of head coaches are a little bit mad at themselves for not waiting a little bit longer maybe to take the Bills job, but it's too late for them now. Like specifically, I think Stefanski would have taken the Bills job if he had been offered that and knew that was a thing. It wasn't when he took the Falcons job though, and I think Daboll is very likely to go to the Bills. I think it could be real soon.
In my opinion, I think the Bills made a huge mistake firing Sean McDermott. I don't think it was the right time. You just competed with the Denver Broncos fully healthy. They were the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think Sean McDermott had one more year I would have given him. I know this was supposed to be the year with Josh Allen because there was no Mahomes, no Jackson, no Burrow in the way. But I think one more year could have been it.
Don't hate the firing. I hate the not also doubling down firing the GM also. I think they have a talented roster, especially because you have Josh Allen. I just think they keep lacking in talent elsewhere. They used to succeed when they had like a top 5 defense also. They don't have that anymore. They're spending all this money on defense, but not in the right places. That defense was not very good for the Bills this year. It felt like the whole team was Josh Allen. Didn't have any receivers, and I think that also showed in the game. And then when he plays slightly inconsistent in the game, they lose in the playoffs. And I think I don't mind the firing. I just think I wish they doubled down and fired the GM also.
Yeah, Sean McDermott, I think, might be out of this coaching cycle. I think he might take a year off and then reassess next year.
Yeah, if he thinks he can do well in media, he should do that for a year because that does real well for coaches typically. If they sound smart on media at all, then they get hired pretty quickly.
So you're saying John Gruden should be hired?
I think he wants to be. He hasn't gotten the call, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he was a great coach. I think his place, if he comes back, is going to be college. I don't think the NFL really wants him back after the emails got leaked. And actually, apparently, they were what was it? There's some lawsuit about the leaking of them being very intentional and very
There was something fishy about it. I'm not fully sure.
Yeah, but
yeah,
John Gruden, he's very smart. We might see Mendoza on Gruden's quarterback class. Is that
bet
what it's
we will.
called?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd be shocked if we don't. But yeah, I mean, just a great week of NFL. Really excited. We will be talking about any NFL things that happen later on this next week in the podcast. I think it's a lot of excitement.
Yeah, and that's going to be all for us at Inside the Playbook. Join us next time. Find us on Spotify. Find us on Instagram. Find us on YouTube. Thank you. See you next time.